So let's talk about clay and why you need it and what all the hubbub is about. Now, clay's been out for 20 years, okay? It's not a new thing to the industry of detailing. However, it's an absolutely essential part of your detail for this reason. No matter how much you polish or wax your vehicle, you're not gonna remove the surface contaminants that are bonded to your finish, okay? Now, the bonded contaminants that are on your car can be any number of things. It can be paint overspray. It can be leftover minerals from like water spots. And it can be industrial fallout, which means anything metallic in the atmosphere touches your car, gets a little bit damp, and boom, rusts to your finish. If you have a white car, it looks like little orange and black specks. You can see them on white cars, you can barely see them on silver, and they're pretty much invisible on almost any other color car. So the deal is you want to remove those contaminants before polishing because, for one, if you finish polishing your car and you get it perfect and you go up and you feel it and you're like, what's that sound? Dang it. The compounding and the polishing doesn't always remove those. When you go to ceramic coat or seal or wax it, you're gonna wax over those contaminants. You wanna eliminate those on the front half of your detail. So there's a few different ways to remove the contamination that is currently on your vehicle. So, and does your car have contamination or is your car baby butt smooth? Well, a quick touch, do you hear it? Is there an audio track to touching your car? Well, then you need clay. If you rub your car and there's zero sound, and you don't feel a single bump, chances are you're good. I'm gonna run you through 3 of the easiest ways to eliminate that contamination. The Clay Mitt is the fastest by a long shot. I'll use it in a bucket, but just to show you real quick, you can also use it with a little detail spray. Boom, this big mitt, black side is what you use. Do a quick rub, and you will have a contaminant-free part of your car. Now, however, the Clay Mitt does not always remove all of the contamination. It is our least aggressive contaminant removing tool, okay? Hear that? Now you hear that. So, on this car, with the little contamination that it had, the Clay Mitt did the trick. Now let's say you have something a little bit more serious, either paint overspray or fallout. Our fine grade clay is your next in line, okay? The next more aggressive. And again, if I'm gonna go ahead and try this nice light gray bar or white bar, you can really see all the contamination on the bar. Now, this really fine grade clay is both easy to see the contaminants that are coming off, and it's really good for claying like a ceramic coated vehicle, something that you've already got a ton of sealant on, something that you don't want to go ahead and re-detail. This is going to be the fine way to remove those contaminants safely. Then the next one in line is going to be our Visco Clay Bar. Now our Visco Clay is technologically the most awesome, and it comes with this little geo tool which puts a little pattern into the clay bar. Now this guy right here, if you've got some serious contamination, if you have not detailed your car for 8, 10, 15,000 miles and you're ready now to remove some serious bumps, or you can see the actual fallout in your finish, this bar with this little tool is going to be the most effective at removing serious contamination. So this guy right here is going to do the most work, and it's going to be really the biggest workhorse at contamination elimination. What do I do when that bar gets filled with crud? Well, you take it, you stretch it, you fold it, you work that contamination deeper into the bar, and then as soon as it comes back to the nice light gray that it was, you basically worked all the contaminants deeper into the bar. When do you know the clay bar is dead? When is it done for? When it starts coming apart in your hands. You know, if you wear a ring, a lot of times it'll come off and start, little pieces of it will attach to your wedding ring, or it'll attach to your calluses in your hands, okay? Each bar though is good for dozens of cars, so unfortunately, you're not gonna buy a lot of these. Unfortunately for us, selling the bars, you're not gonna buy a lot of them. So you're gonna wanna clay your car at least as often as you change your oil. And remember, if you park your car outside day and night, you're gonna clay your car way more regularly. You're gonna have more contamination. All right, so we went ahead and we washed the Escalade, we cleaned the wheels, the tires, we even cleaned the engine. Now I'm gonna show you the fastest, the easiest, the quickest way to go ahead and remove all those bonded contaminants from the finish using our Clay Mitt. So on a completely rinsed off vehicle that's clean, I'm gonna use our foam cannon and I'm gonna go ahead and foam this car down. So I'm gonna go ahead and foam this guy so that the Clay Mitt slides nicely and easily over the car. Okay. So now I've got all kinds of suds on here that are gonna be a perfect lubricant for my Clay Mitt. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and use my clean bucket as well to keep my Clay Mitt nice and wet, and boom, I am gonna be quick. And why do I want to have a lubricated finish when I'm claying? Because I don't want to have scratches. I want this to be the quickest and easiest thing possible without causing any damage. I always do the glass, always do the glass. And then every panel, go back to the bucket, rinse that Clay Mitt again so that all those contaminants come out of your mitt and they go into the bottom of your bucket. So all those dead bugs that did not come off during our wash, boom, that's gonna come right off easily now. Where you live and where you park, that has all to do with how often you need to use a Clay Mitt, Clay Bar, etc. So you might be asking yourself, can I go ahead and use the Clay Bar in the bucket like this? Well, no. And for the reason that the Clay Bar works way better warm. When it's cold, like in and out of a bucket of water, what that's gonna do is gonna make it firmer, harder, and more chance that you might get some micro scratching. Clay does not remove imperfections. Clay might put very minor micro marring in your finish, very fine scratches, but very minimal. The thing to know is that clay, the purpose of it is to remove bumps from your finish, to remove contaminants. If you don't have any, you don't need to do it. So I always feel while I'm using the mitt or any of the bars, I always just make sure that I'm getting all the contamination off. If you're wearing a metal ring, make sure you take it off. Me, I always wear a rubber ring, but I've got all the contaminants off. This baby's slick. It's smooth now, the contamination's gone. Time to rinse it off, then we'll move on to the next big step.